Yes.
Right, so you pick it up, you know what to do.
I know what to do, so I'll do the first camera.
There you go.
Artful Doodler, not Dodger.
Welcome to the Cherrywood Podcast with me, Simon Burridge.
And me, Rachel Burridge.
Right, so we've got the Artful Doodler here.
Stolen the Artful Doodler.
Come in a little bit more. There we go, yeah. So, I reckon we've known you for about 15 years, as in, hello, how are you?
Quick.
But never had a proper
You're not
chat.
missing much. We'll find out the next.
To the point where, for 15 years, I thought you were the Artful Doodler.
Yeah.
No, he is.
Oh, yeah.
You got that right. The one time he thinks he's got it wrong.
Sorry, the Artful Jotter. I thought Jotter for some reason.
Jotter.
Oh, to jot
He's jotting
stuff
stuff
down.
down, but it's not jotting, is it? It's doodling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I also
really?
get mistaken for Mr. Doodle. Do you know who Mr. Doodle is?
Mr.
He's got a
Doodle.
big crazy hair and he paints these kind of swirls.
Yes,
on
I
things.
do. I think I follow him for some bizarre reason.
And I
Don't his missus colour him in now?
Oh, I don't know. Does she?
So he goes around doing the doodle and his missus goes round
Blimey.
filling the gap.
Like a
It's a
multi-millionaire,
whole
isn't
house
it?
stuff, isn't it?
Oh, I've seen that. Yes, I do know.
Well, I did a thing
Yeah.
down in Faversham at the Faversham Brewery, and I was drawing all the people I was doing. Took pictures and put it on Facebook, and my friend said, "That's Mr. Doodle, isn't it?" And I went, "I've heard of Mr. Doodle." I looked him up. I went, "Oh, he's a successful
Is
artist."
he British?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, right, I didn't know that.
Doesn't speak.
Before we start, how long?
Oh, yeah,
We've
sorry.
had a little bit of a camera power problem,
So
which
I've
you
got
saw.
no
So
idea.
he's seen that hang up there for a while, and he's got a bit of a head start.
I'm going to go 32 minutes.
32 minutes. Okay, we go.
I was going to say 18, then I saw how long it lasted. Yeah.
We go to our sponsors, and then when we come back,
Is that going to land on my head?
like I said to a couple of people, it doesn't fall forward. Like
Oh, okay.
nothing
Oh.
falls forward.
It might do.
Oh, it might tip forward actually, but no.
Anyway,
Anyway,
we're going here. The cameras go wrong. Everything goes wrong. On the rest.
We're going to the sponsors. When we come back, the whatever I'm going to say will happen. The
Okay.
timer will start for that. That's it. Here we go.
Today's sponsors are Dimedici Associates, Chartered Structural and Civil Engineers.
Based in the UK with a worldwide reach.
Visit their website on dimediciassociates.com.
Club Awesome, for autistic children and their families, a place where everyone belongs and fun knows no age limit. This podcast has been brought to you by Snug Dubs Camper Van Hire.
Roam the world, park anywhere.
That's snugdubs.co.uk.
And we're back. There we go.
Oh, so quick.
Smooth as anything.
All right. Tell us about yourself. Your real name, if you want to.
I'm
Don't
Rich.
have to.
Yeah, Rich.
Richard.
Or the Artful Dodger, as I get.
That's really weird, right? Because he reminds me of Dick, our mate Dick.
Okay.
Don't you think? He looks like Richard.
No.
I think he's got a bit of Richard in him. No, that sounds wrong, but you know.
Didn't know about that. I'm not talking funny today.
Right, Rich, how did you start out then, mate? We've
So
always done this, I imagine.
I used to draw my teachers at school and get in detention for it. So it was kind
Oh,
of
right, okay.
I had an exercise book that I filled full of pictures of the teachers with no clothes on, and all the kids signed it, and then they got hold of it, and that was it. I was,
Really? So where was this?
on the Isle of Sheppey.
Oh, that's where you're from, Sheppey?
Yeah.
Are you still there now?
No,
The thing is, right, people diss Sheppey,
Mm.
but when I go over there, like to go to Laysdown or
no,
something,
it's a lovely place.
you look and you think, actually, this wouldn't be a bad place.
Well, in fact, I've only moved over to Sittingbourne. I've not gone far.
Right,
Next
okay.
year, we're planning on going back to
Oh, are you?
Minster's lovely. Minster's lovely place. It's
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so hopefully I can get back over there.
I'm not going to lie, I've considered it. Because you get more house for your
House place is brilliant. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's a nice, it's a nice community over there.
And
as
I'm
well.
happy to take the stick of being on Sheppey. Because it was even mentioned in Doctor Who once,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
They
really?
slagged it off in Doctor Who.
Unbelievable, yeah. It's a weird thing because you find yourself, you do it yourself. You go, I'll live on the other
Yeah.
ship.
You almost apologise, don't you? Go, oh,
Yeah,
I'm so
sorry,
sorry.
yeah,
I should
yeah,
be.
Everywhere has its rough places. And I think the fact that there's 3 prisons on there, isn't there?
Yeah, that probably doesn't help. Yeah.
That probably don't help it. And, you know, everywhere has its dives. But
No.
I think for us, what put you off was the one sewage line, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm thinking
Really?
if that gets backed out, then
She ends.
Is it that bad?
Yeah.
She ends every sentence with "and shit." Right? But no, I get all messy and shit. Right?
So on my
And when we're-
birthday.
On a school run,
That's good.
she tells me where every bit of dog's poo is, like,
Right.
because she went the school run the day before.
There's a theme going through.
Yeah.
And she's like, there's a bit there, mind that lane, there's a bit on the right.
But-
I call her a shat nav.
No, but why?
Why do I do that? Because you're like a child. You're literally drawn to, if there's any shit on the floor, he's literally walking in it. And I'm like, Simon!
Don't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
We once had the pushchair when Ted was a baby, and I went, mind that. And he went, what? And he literally pushed the pushchair in and out of it like this several
moonwalked
times,
in it.
then walked in it, and then tap danced in it, and then went, what? And I was like, are you serious? Everywhere. It was everywhere.
Well, I do a bike ride near where I live, and last year, because the people just walk their dogs around, and they usually clean up the poo, but sometimes they don't.
Right, yeah.
And
it throws it up on you.
well, last year, I wrote this little comic book about my life, and I did this superhero, because someone went round there with a spray paint, and they spray painted round a circle round every poo, and put pick this up in spray lettering, and I thought, that's really good, because I was riding the bike, I could see it all. But at the same time, I thought, why are you spraying? You could have just picked it up.
I would have put a bigger circle around if they stopped graffiti.
Gets really wide. No.
It turns into a massive row. Yeah.
It's like a WhatsApp message.
We are slightly drifting off. We've gone from your drawing to shit. Sorry about that.
Yeah, same way.
Right, so you got in trouble in Sittingbourne at school for
Sheppy. Yeah.
Sheppy, sorry.
Yeah, but and then when I left school, I kind of got regular jobs like you do, but did this on the side, and I started doing caricature. I think the first wedding I did was 28 years ago.
Wow.
Oh right,
so,
really?
Yeah, I got into it was in Essex. So I didn't know what I was doing. I went up there and then did this wedding, and I thought this is great.
Right.
And so I had jobs on the side all week, and then I started doing it quite regularly, and realising that I was making more money at the weekend than I was making all week at work.
Really?
So I thought this is just ridiculous. So in 2007, I think it was, where Dickens World opened in Chatham.
Oh,
Right, blimey. Yeah.
I said to them, would you like a caricaturist? Because they then gave me a regular earning. So I did that, and then the wedding was on the side, and it kind of just took off.
So obviously we know you from weddings and wedding fairs, and like I said, we've known you for 15 years, and I've filmed you many times, but never had a proper conversation with you. So do you just do weddings now, do you think, or do you do parties?
Yeah, I do about 80 weddings a year, I reckon, and then about 20 corporate birthday parties, things like that. So yeah, I'm trying. There was an agency who's just put me on their books for that does just corporate stuff, so that's good. I really want to build that side of things. Yeah. So how
did you get into the wedding industry? Because obviously there's caricaturists. Yeah. How did you then say, you know what, I'm going to take this into weddings?
Well, see, I hadn't thought of it. So I first did it at the Dickens Festival over in Rochester. And that was when someone came to me and said, would you come do my wedding in Essex? And I thought, that's a thing, I'll do that then. I did that, and I remember there was an agency called Street Entertainers that were going for a long time, based in Surrey or something like that. And they said, we'll get you booked out for different events. And they got loads of weddings for me, and I thought, this is a thing. So I just did it off my own back in the end. And I don't know what happened to them, they just sort of disappeared. But
have you done things like gone to like Rochester High Street? God, I've gone all croaky. Have you I've seen caricatures in the High Street, and you just sit up there, give them a tenner, and they do it. Have you ever done anything?
Well, I used to do the Dickens Festival when the tents were set up there.
Right.
Like a craft tent. Like
Dickens Festival.
I only stopped doing that about 3 years ago.
Right.
Because I had a regular crowd that used to come back and get their families done. And
okay.
And then I started to realise that it's just I've got lazy. Weddings are easy. I'll tell you the wedding I go over.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
There's something quite nice about it.
We're pretty much the same, aren't we, with headshots, and we still do headshots for people we know, but we don't really sell it. Do you know what I mean? If someone contacted us and said we do headshots, we're like, yeah, we're doing, but
it's the same as moving commissions.
You've got to streamline your business sometimes.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So what pays better for work-life balance? You know, that type of thing.
Yeah, I quite enjoy doing the commissions, but I say now I'll do it for October to April and I'll stop because in the summer season I just can't keep up with them. It gets so silly.
Yeah. So do you ever, like in all this time, 28 years, you ever be like, God, why am I still drawing? Did it drive you nuts, or do you change your style or anything like that? To keep your sort of.
I'll get a lot meaner as years have gone on. So I was just saying there's a.
Yeah.
I think
I would be awful.
Yeah.
I've
got really bad. I did one. I just sent him some photographs yesterday to take pictures of everyone holding them. And I was went in the Ferry House Inn, and there was a guy there he was quite a good-looking guy, sort of nice, wavy hair. But he had a very slightly large chin, and I drew this, and when I drew him, I drew like a banana, and I thought, I'm pushing the luck with this one. He loved it. But
have you ever offended anyone?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Oh really? And they actually get offended?
Yeah, they don't. I don't know. Sometimes I don't hear about it. Sometimes they're like, oh, lovely, thanks, and they go off, and then one of the other entertainers, like a magician, will come up to me and say, oh, they just said they hated that.
Have you ever had anyone tell you to your face?
They go sulky mostly.
How funny.
The worst ones are ladies in their 80s. They're the ones that really detest
it. They just can't grasp it, can they?
I remember Chris Harding got me a booking once.
And he's not insulting at all, is
he?
Not
at all, yeah. Chris just says what he thinks it. So, yeah, Chris got me a booking at, he said, your Christmas party. He told me nothing about it. He said, it's Christmas party. And I turned up and walked in the door. And I went, oh no, because the Women's Institute thing. All ladies in their 80s. Every picture, they were looking at it and going, and just throwing it down on the table. And I was like, oh, God.
That's funny.
It was painful, but
Do you think he did that on purpose?
Do you try and ease up and just try and make it a likeness when it's people that age? Or?
Well, if you're too nice, they think you're taking the mick. And if you're too...
there's no
win.
It's a minefield,
They
isn't
think
it?
you're being sarcastic, so it's kind of, can't win.
So take us through the whole process then. So someone's phoned you up and said, I want to book you for the wedding. So you turn up on the day. What sort of time do you turn up?
I do any time. The only time I don't do is the speeches. But even then now, I've got to stage where people book me for 2 hours and I've got like an hour long speech. So I end up sort of thinking, okay, right, I've got to draw something. So I'll just draw people from a distance.
Yeah.
But I'll do any time. I do during the photos. I'll just mingle around while there's... Because you've got the people standing around while that's happening.
Yeah.
During the meal, I wander around the tables. And in the evening when they're getting drunk, so any time really works.
So how long does that one standard photo of, let's say, a couple, a man and wife, or a husband and wife, or brother and sister, or whoever it is, how long would a standard couple photo take?
It's it's about 5 to 10 minutes. So I do 8 couples an hour, I've worked out.
Oh, wow.
16 people an hour.
Oh, right, okay.
To the point where, because I print a logo in the corner,
Yeah.
And that's how I know what time it is, because I'll do a logo. And if it's quite a steady wedding, I know once I've done that last sheet of paper, it must be time, it is time.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So it's quite, I'm not far off. Sometimes you get a bit of a delay and I've got to keep an eye on the time.
Yeah.
But, you know.
So how do you, because some weddings could, like there's 120 people, do you have to say, I won't get round everyone?
No, generally. But I do now offer, because I quite often do 2 weddings in one day, and I've got a structure where people used to book me for 3 hours and they'll say, right, I want you from 4 till 7. And I'll say, that kind of limited me into the one wedding. So now I say you can book an afternoon slot if it's 2 to 4 hours, or an evening slot.
Yeah.
But if you want me for the whole day, you can book a 5 to 8 hour slot.
Okay.
So sometimes I'll do 4 hours in the afternoon, 4 hours in the evening, and that way I get loads of people done. Quite busy,
so that's quite a good thing.
Yeah, it's quite good. You do get these huge weddings sometimes.
Yeah, you can imagine. Then you're sitting there going, okay. Do you ever use colour? Because a lot of your stuff is just black and white.
Rachel's on BA honours.
Oh, really? Oh, no.
She's going to love this. No, I don't feel like she's never done a caricature of me.
I don't think I could.
She did teach me to paint, though.
I
didn't you?
She did,
Using the grids and that.
Yeah.
No.
So did you do anything like that at school then? Is that, how did you get artistic as such?
I think I've always been... My daughter, she's 7 years old.
Yeah.
I think it's just because she's...
We met your daughter, we met your wife as well, kind of, a hello type thing again.
But she's massively into drawing. She's got her own... I've done her own Instagram page now because I was developing so much.
Yeah.
So I've done her Miss Mini Doodler on Instagram.
Oh, wicked.
I've got her pictures on there.
Oh, we'll follow her as well then.
Yeah. And, but yeah, she's... And I think...
Get her in. We'll get her in as well.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Be well good.
She'll just clam up.
Oh,
you get one of those.
We could do like a kids one. Tilly and Ted could be the host.
Oh,
and she could
we do that. We'll get the kids to host it, and she should be alright then.
Yeah.
We can get Tilly to have... Tilly's 13, so hopefully she'll have some structure. More structure than we got.
Just keep running around in circles. The camera will probably still break like when I went on, but she's got the same curse as me. But yeah, she but I think I was similar to her, that my parents have always been quite crafty and they make things. So when I was little, I was always like, I'll do something. So I started drawing, so I didn't have the effort. Mine makes dolls and things, and I was going to make dolls and stuff. But so
and it was just literally like doodles in the corner, and then
just took over.
So in my head, when you're looking at someone, in my head, and my head isn't right, I feel like you've got 20 different eyes that you know how to draw, 20 different noses.
It is a bit like that, yeah. It starts off like that, I think. Like, that's how because I do workshops with kids in schools where I teach them how to do it, and I use that as an example. So I have a chart of eyes, chart of noses, and I say once you've got them in your head, you make them a bit larger, or you make them a bit smaller. It is a bit like, it's quite a structure, and now it's to the point where I don't think about it when I'm drawing. My hands just do it, and I just kind of daydream, really. It's no. But if I look at someone, they're a caricature in my head already.
Mate.
If I look at you two now, you've already been in touch.
The thing is, I can't watch. I've got no eyes. I know that. Well, I can't watch a film without editing it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I've lost the story.
It's strange
because
isn't it?
I'm like, oh, I know what they've done there. You know what I mean? They've
Do you like you watch other people's videos and you think like that?
I don't criticise really because everyone's different.
But you know what you would do that was different. Or...
No, I say to myself because when it comes to editing, probably the same with drawing. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Do you know what I mean? You can create exactly the same effect. In 4 or 5 different ways, and those different ways could be completely different.
Yeah, sure.
But it still ends up at the same sort of effect.
Thing, yeah.
The movie industry will spend millions on it, and I'll do it in an afternoon. And you're right, it's not going to be spot on, but it wouldn't be far off to the untrained eye. It would look all right. You know? So
Because I
can't even remember what the question was now. But
when we had Terry on, you two were discussing different techniques and how you do it, get the same outcome, but you do it in different ways.
I found that really interesting because you were talking about how you'll put a frame into Photoshop to block out like a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
And I know that I did that because I used to do a YouTube thing. I used to have these puppets and artwork and things on YouTube years ago. And I used to make out I lived in this old castle, and I'd do that myself. I'd make all this castle around me, like I was sitting in this castle, you know. And it was ridiculous. But I used to think I was doing it wrong. But hearing you two talk about it,
it's not because I'm self-taught,
right?
And so when I'm looking at films, I'm sort of it's a way of me sort of training myself now. What you would do this. So to speak to Tony, Terry, and him say exactly the same thing. It's sort of reassuring in a way.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
You know you're on the same.
I can't even remember if Terry was trained, was he?
He went to like the magazine industry, didn't he?
I didn't realise what a sort of comic nerd he was either.
Right, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Because you see him, he's got a little bit of that.
Swag.
He's got a bit of that. That geezer on that was in lockdown, done all the.
Joe Wicks.
Joe Wicks fat, isn't he?
Definitely.
He got a bit. He would fit in The Only Way Is Essex, wouldn't he?
I feel like we all need a bit of a Terry injection.
I got a lot of time for Terry. I really got a lot of time. I met him first time we ever met him was at the Wedding Awards, I think. Yeah, and he won, obviously.
Right.
And then the next year we won.
And that set us back because he had a table of 20 people or something.
Wow,
And then
he came straight over. I went straight over to him the first year. He came straight over. Well done, really proud of you and all that.
Yeah, I think if it was such a thing, Terry could be like a wedding guru. Like, he could, cause he tells you what he's got that kind of.
You know, his life and soul is videos and making, creating, and not just the creating, but the technology as well.
Yeah.
You know, he was telling us stuff that he'd already researched. What was that Apple thing that they're doing? Apple Vision.
Apple Vision.
And I haven't even bothered looking into Apple Vision.
No.
I tried 360 once and it was fine, but it wasn't quite there. The quality wasn't quite there.
Yeah.
Because it's filming what I had was filming in 5.2K, but it's filming in 5.2K all around.
Right.
And when you put the goggles on, you're only seeing a small percentage of that 5.2K. Do you see what I mean? So the quality just wasn't there.
Right.
I thought not many people are asking for this.
Maybe in a few years' time they might develop it.
Like I say, what I purchased was 5 years ago, 6 years ago now, so there's probably something better, but people aren't asking for it. So.
No, sure. See, my brain doesn't. I like if I do editing when I still use iMovies.
Oh right, yeah.
Because my brain can't learn anything else. I don't know.
Like I was saying to Terry, I use this program. And the program was when I first started in 2000. Yeah, I got married in 2000. Then not to her, she was about 6. But I got married in 2000, and then I edited our honeymoon. Yeah. And I was really into what the guys did. They were called Missing Link Productions, and they filmed our wedding.
Yeah.
And they took us into the studio. I was like, I really like this.
Right.
And that was my first sort of, I want to get involved.
Taster of it. Yeah.
So I edited our honeymoon. And that program was called Pinnacle DV or something like that, and it's now Pinnacle 26. I think they've actually stopped now, which is annoying. But I know that I can edit that 3 times faster than like the industry standard, which is like Adobe Premiere or something. I've got Adobe Premiere, but I still can't be asked.
Yeah, that's it.
To do it
I've got all the software on my laptop. I just tend to use the old stuff.
Yeah,
I'm comfortable with it.
Well, the good thing about Premiere is you can do your project. You can send it to someone else who's using Premiere, and you can both do the project. You can't do that with Pinnacle. But when I get to that stage where I am sort of doing something with someone, I'll probably learn it.
Yeah,
but I don't need to. I've created movies on bloody Amazon Prime with it, and it does the job. That's all it needs to do is the job, and it does it quicker than well, it's just because I know the language, like you say, you just do something where you're used to the language, aren't you?
I was always taught with the shit, with them.
With the shit?
No,
I told you so.
Again.
She's obsessed with
it. But when I was taught at university, I was taught all the shortcuts.
Yeah.
So I can now sit on a laptop and just go do it on the keyboard.
Oh, on Photoshop?
On Photoshop, and it will do it for me. So I know all the shortcuts. And I don't even use a mouse. I use that little keyboard.
Mate, I can't bear to watch her edit.
Right. And I'm just like,
oh, mate, she's sick, isn't it? Mate, I've got like... I've got an office with massive TV because I'm as blind as anything. Yeah. You know, I've got it all laid out, mouse, everything like that. Mouse, like it wouldn't. Yeah. And she's sitting there cross-legged on the sofa, editing, just using the little square.
And just going tap, tap,
I'm
tap,
like,
tap.
Amazing. Yeah.
I'm like, how can you even do that? It just seems so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it took me so long. I was using, like I say, about a mouse doing my commissions. I did the colour, digital colour, you said about the colour, I did digital colour commissions. And I do them on Photoshop, and I'd use a mouse to colour them, and all the other caricatures.
You're using that pen thing?
No, this was an actual mouse.
But are they all the other ones using
on the Cintiq thing. And they've got the iPad Pro and all that. I didn't have that until last year. And then suddenly I got a deal on the iPad Pro through Sky, and they said, "Do you want it?" I went, "Yeah, I have one." And I just started playing with it, and I thought, "You idiot! All these years, it took, things that take me like a whole evening took me about 5 minutes."
Yeah. See, I've got an S23, right, and it's got the pen on it. And you can have that in sort of like doodle mode, and it even goes by the pressure of the pen. And
that's what I love. Yeah,
it's unbelievable. You would love it. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I'm shy at it. But
I write a little comic journal, and I always handwrite every page, and then I made a mistake. I put a sticker over it and draw it, and it was stupid. Now I've got the iPad Pro, and I do it all digitally. Yeah. And I was thinking that bit's not. I just write that bit out and draw it again.
Have you ever thought about doing an animation?
I've played with animation a little bit. That's another thing with the technology. My friend had a fantasy channel on YouTube years ago. He said, "We need some beginning credits of like a dragon coming through the woods and all this." I said, "I can do that for you." And he said, "Okay." Started putting it together for him. I sent it to him, and he said, "Can you do it in Adobe After Effects?" And I've got Adobe After Effects. And I went, "Well, I've never used it." He said, "What do you do?" And I said, "Do it in iMovie because I know I can know how to cheat and make it up." And he went, "Oh, just do it. Can you do it?" And I must have spent about 2 weeks trying to learn After Effects, and nearly threw my laptop out the window. Yeah. And I said to him, "Look, you can just either have this one, or
I'm not doing it again."
Saying that, I'm looking for an illustrator. Maybe we should talk about this afterwards. But I wrote a children's book, didn't I, years ago?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just when my daughter was born, just a soppy old children's book, which I'm not going to advertise at all. But then I spoke to a publisher about a year ago, half a year ago, and he said, "You should just add a few more pages to it and get the, because I had an illustrator do it, a girl that we knew do it, and he was pleased with all the artwork, but she's just too busy to do it now. So I might get it all redone again. If you're interested."
Oh, okay, maybe next year sometime. Well, the reason to say that is I've just written one myself.
Oh, a children's one.
I'm trying to get around to illustrating. That's about I've written one about a scientist like Dr. Frankenstein,
right?
But he's got a bum for a face. This all comes from ideas from my daughter. By the way.
Kids love that sort of stuff, don't they?
And she had this idea. There's a factory near us and pumps out smoke, and she had this idea that it was the fart factory. And I said, "Okay, it's a fart factory." So I thought he makes farts, but when people can't fart, they've got it stuck. So he makes farts in a drink. They drink and they can then fart. And one day he accidentally makes a poo monster. And this poo monster makes a mess around his house.
You'll hate this, Rach.
So, yeah. So there you go. So, right up the street,
The thumbnail of this podcast is definitely going to be brown.
A little poo emoji.
So I've got this,
Right, so you've got that going.
So I'm trying to get around to, even trying to illustrate one page is just like,
really?
It's a nightmare. But
you've done it here while you're talking.
Sorry, what was you saying? I was just...
Right.
So what are the biggest challenges that you find in this industry then?
Me mostly. I like the kind of social media kind of aspect. I'm so rubbish. I'm terrible.
We are just as bad. If you look at our clips of this podcast, it's done by AI, and the description is horrendous sometimes. Horrendous.
It doesn't even call us. It calls us cherry
walls, like we're a hospital.
Yeah, we're like,
And I just post it. I post it, look at it, and go, I better edit that at some point. So I've now removed the subtitles, just because it gets the subtitles wrong so much. That I'd rather just, I know you're meant to have subtitles on them so people can watch it while it's silent. But I just can't I haven't got time to keep going through altering the subtitles. So all I basically do is there's this one AI, there's loads of them, I won't mention which one it is, but you just upload the link on YouTube. It will take that, it will create loads of different clips and add subtitles to them.
Right.
And all I have to do is send them out and say, like, I want this one published, and it will publish it on everything in one go. So it's good for that.
Yeah.
But it's not always the best part of the podcast it uses. Do you know what I mean? It tries to give a subject, like a question and an answer. It tries
amazing,
to.
though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Does it?
But you know, that's all. For time-wise, that's all we got.
In a business, you are just like the main person. You're not meant to be the accountant. You know, the media, the social media aspect of it. You know, you have to learn all these bits, and we're not going to be amazing at everything, right?
No,
so
exactly.
we can't do the wedding, do the social media, do the editing, all in sort of the same time. So it just gets very hectic and very busy.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but I struggle with it's almost like a OCD kind of thing where I can't stand things being not exactly the way I want them. You know, and so I started doing. I don't know why I did it to myself, but on Instagram I started posting. Where Instagram's got the square picture, you know. Yeah. So I take a picture of the caricature and they're holding the caricature down here, and I'm thinking, well, I need it up here, really. So I started doing this thing. I don't know what to do. I'll shrink them down and I'll put their caricature behind them, and then
it's a extra time though.
Yeah, it takes ages, and so you know, and I started doing it. One week I did 3 posts a day for a week, and it killed me. And I thought we've got loads of business.
Have you got the new Photoshop though, where you literally click in the person and it's random?
Oh,
the AI.
There's a beta version as well.
Yeah, I've got that. Yeah.
And you click on it, and it cuts the person out for you. It's so much easier than it used to be.
Handy, yeah.
And the AI is okay if you get it right. It's not amazing.
Yeah. We've had it change.
It's good, but it's not always amazing.
We've had it change. We've shot We've shot a family in here.
Yeah.
And we said something like change the background to white, and it changed. You know, they were like what, the Chinese or something.
Something like that, yeah.
And it changed them to white people.
Oh my god, no!
And we're like, no.
Imagine sending them here. We've done your photos.
And they're like, that's not me.
Wow.
Honestly, it gets it so wrong. Gets it so wrong.
Brilliant.
Yeah, let's not do that then.
No.
But for cutting out, I remember using have to cut out and then go around slyly with a delete.
Oh, I need to do that
with a rubber.
A burn tool.
Now you literally click on the person, it finds the edge of the person perfectly. Even when they've got hair out everywhere, it'll go around all that.
Right.
I like it for that.
Nice.
So I'm thinking for your thing,
that would be
all you've got to do is just click it, and that's it.
I maybe need to go and spend an hour. Find an hour to learn.
Yeah. So, have you ever been sort of creatively stuck at times? Like you've just had no inspiration or no...
No, I have friends that get like that. And I used to do... Sometimes I do these little comic books about my life, and I used to do made-up stories years ago, and we'd go to these comic festivals, and these guys would say, I've got run out of ideas. And I'd always have ideas, but I think the problem was they weren't always good ideas, but I thought they were. So when I look back on the stuff I used to do, I think that's why I had loads of ideas, because they were all crap.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? You know, I go back at stuff I've created, and I'm never satisfied with anything I've created. No. I think that's what we will always be like.
Yeah, never will be, yeah.
And I always say, like, you know, the minute that I'm satisfied with something I've done at a wedding is the time I should stop. Because then you're not going to push yourself, or, you know, or mistakes will start happening, you know, that's the thing.
See, I've been in my 20s and 30s, I think I had this sort of blind sort of confidence. So I was like, I'm brilliant, I'm great. But whereas now I'm older, I'm not. I've got to try hard. You really are, yeah.
Because it's quite a niche little area in your industry, because you've got like obviously the people that do like the very basic caricatures now, don't you? They colour, and that's
and we get the fashion illustrations.
It's more
we've had someone in like that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Oh, I like that.
And she just does lots of little fashion illustrations. We've got another picture which is now by the front door, isn't it?
Yeah.
Betty Love. And she doesn't turn up at the wedding. She just takes a picture and then draws it.
Are these Kent based?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting to know, because I'm like trying to recommend a caricature, so I never have to go out of town.
Yeah. Actually, Woo Illustration, she's Surrey, wasn't she?
She's Surrey, yeah. Right, but she covers.
But Betty Love was from around here.
Yeah.
And it's like a basic style draw. I don't know how to describe it, but you'll see it on the way out.
It's like a line drawing, isn't it?
She's been on the podcast, so you'll be able to find her.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, I do a thing once a year. I was telling you about earlier. I've got a thing called Caricon, and I meet about 30 other characters from around the world. We all get drunk and draw each other.
I was going to say that. Do you have like a group? Have you got like a WhatsApp group with all these people drawing?
They really know how to party, and the pictures are horrific because no one's going to get offended. So you're massing those and going crazy on each other. But they have also other artists turn up. Like I had, the silhouette artists that do the. But I've seen the silhouette artist many times, but this one was a caricature silhouette artist, and I don't know where I think he was from another country.
Okay.
So it's like just a dodgy outside sort of profile.
Yeah, but he does the whole body as well. So he kind of had me. I've got one of me drawing with the whole thing. It's me, but it's a caricature. But how he does that, I don't know.
It's amazing. It's just all black, basically.
All black, but you can tell straight away.
It's cool.
Wow.
Incredible,
So do you do mainly live weddings? Like, do you no?
No, they're usually alive.
It's
not like the one in Game of Thrones. The red wedding.
I had once done a wedding in a funeral parlour. That was
really?
Yeah, that was a long time ago. But that was about 20 years ago, I think. But that was the bride owned a funeral parlour.
And she got married.
There were coffins there, and people were saying, "You're going to draw that one over there?" No.
Oh my
How weird.
God.
It was very strange. Yeah.
Well, that wasn't my initial question, but wow.
yeah.
I mean, like, do you ever not do it live at a wedding? Do people give you photos and say, if you can't get around to them, or do you write a picture of the bride and groom and then you say, I'll do that back at home? Or
I get commissions anyway. So I do them in the winter months. But I also quite often there'll be someone I've missed because it's chaos at a wedding. And they'll say to me, "Oh, can you just do my nan? Can you draw my nan?" And so I'll say, "Okay, I'll charge a little bit extra for that." But so I do them after.
You prefer to be there on the day.
Oh yeah, I love the reaction. I live for that reaction. You get them laughing. It's great.
Yeah. You don't film every reaction, obviously, do you? It'd be great if you could, wouldn't it?
I've caught two. I did put one on. Someone sent me one that was really good. It was a guy with a big bushy beard, and it was his sister, and she had big curly hair, and they were just both in hysterics, and it was the best clip because they're falling over each other, and I managed to get that as a
wicked
little clip. Yeah, I don't see many of those at all.
Do you ever have like a group of lads with all their mate who's just been in a bike accident up to you and go,
oh yeah,
it's all messed up.
You get that, drawings, I also get the thing when people got a birthmark, or you don't know if it's a birthmark or an injury, and you think, do I put that in? Or do I tend to leave it out until they say to me,
you left it. You tell one of his mates, you ain't put that in. You ain't put his cauliflower ear in or something.
Where do you draw the line of like almost offending people?
You just got her in,
You just don't care. Yeah.
You've got to offend.
My friend started doing it. He says to me, what's the biggest hint you can give me? And I said, just don't worry about people's feelings. Just
go.
Whatever. Because once you do that, and the worst thing, if I get a crowd behind me, they're all laughing, I get worse. Because I think they're egging me on.
It's like a comedian, really, isn't it? You're getting egged on to go a bit further,
nastier.
You ever put in like hidden messages or like something funny?
Yeah, what did I do? I don't know recently. I always do things. If someone's pregnant, I have to really be careful with it. So I have to work out.
Just in case they are.
That's it. So I'll try and lead the conversation so they'll give me a hint, like, don't chase after me afterwards. They might say, I can't run because I'll go, okay, right, I'm safe. And then I'll do a little speech bubble with the baby saying, what's going on out there. But then what was the one? I've had a few where people just like, they'll tell me, there was one guy, I shouldn't say it really, but there's one guy that was, he'd been on Jimmy Savile when he was a kid. And so they asked me to put a Jimmy Fixing badge and I didn't notice till he walked away and he went, oh!
Funny.
Yeah, so, it kind of has to be done.
That's funny.
I love that.
Speaking of Jimmy Savile, that's a lot of the other entertainers know about this. When it came out about Jimmy Savile, so long I've been doing this, I had one banner that I used for wedding fairs, and the biggest caricature on there was Jimmy Savile.
Oh, really?
And I had a wedding show the next day, and it was on the news, and I went, oh no, what am I going to do? Like, what do I do with that? Because he had the perfect face for a caricature,
Yeah.
And so I had to stick this big label over it that said, have your caricature.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I was going to replace it with Rolf Harris.
Yeah, how funny would that have been? I was told about Jimmy Savile. I've mentioned this on here before.
No.
I was told about Jimmy Savile in 2000. I think it all came out way after that.
Right, yeah.
But I was told by my Toastmaster when I got married in 2000.
Right, so it's obviously out there.
Yeah, and he was like, that bloke is a paedophile.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, whatever, because everyone's got their opinions, isn't they?
Yeah, well, you
was
other people now, didn't you?
He was adamant about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anything happens with it. You just don't know, do you?
That's it, yeah.
You just don't know.
Scary, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
That's why I just pick people on my banner now that are dead. You know, been dead a long time. Rob, Laura and Hardy, nothing's going on with them.
Queen.
The Queen, yeah. You safely,
You safe.
Have you ever had someone say to you, do it again? Like, been so offended that they said, do it again?
I bet you. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't.
Yeah, you get all sorts of, like, people be drinking. I get, like, one of my favourite stories was, I did a wedding once and there was a really rough group of rugby players there. They were shouting, screaming, all this sort of thing. I'm drawing these two guys, and this other guy came over and he said, fucking put me in it. And I went, well, I'm halfway through now, I can't fit you in. He went, put me in it. And I went, all right. I said, just sit still. And he sat down, and every time he moved, he went, I said, can you just keep still? And I never, I don't care people. I like people to move, actually.
Yeah.
And every time he moved, I can just keep still. And I turned the picture around, and there were still two guys on there. And
That is brilliant.
And he went, where am I? I said, see that bit on the edge, that's your shoulder? I said, I told you there wasn't any room for it. And he kind of got up and just stormed off.
That is brilliant.
It's kind of like,
I'm glad you didn't do it, because I was going to get upset with you, actually.
I can't do it. Yeah, people are rude. You got to do it. And there's another thing. People are rude, and you think, right, I'm going to offend you now. So I give you a massive nose. You turn around, they all go, brilliant. You think,
oh damn it! Let's try harder.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh right.
Oh,
so do you want to draw Rachel's massive Buzz Lightyear chin?
Shut up!
Excellent. I've got loads of hints for her. It's brilliant.
She's got a jaw. She's well chiseled jaw, and we always take the piss out of that.
Brilliant.
No.
I normally find things people I'm aware of as well. People go, didn't know I had that.
Oh yeah, well, she's got piggy nose.
Piggy nose.
Buzz Lightyear jaw.
Can I just write this down?
Well, we can always look at Simon and his non-existent eye.
He's not going to be able to find anything dodgy.
I'm just going to make it blank. No, it's still.
I shaved my eyebrows off the other day by accident.
The other day, they have grown back a little bit.
Oh, what an idiot. Right? I've got politician eyebrows, right? So every now and then I pull them on, Jesus. Yeah. You know. So I've got this one razor that's for eyebrows, right? Set on number 4 is a dial that brings it in and out. Yeah. Set on number 4 with a lock on it every time. And I always check the number, apart from this day that I didn't check the number. Brilliant. And it was on 1. And I went through the lot of them. My sister went, how did you manage to do both?
Yeah. One, you can imagine. I look in the room and go, oh shit. And then he went, I'll do the other one.
I just went, I thought, that sounds a bit... You know when you know it's taken a lot off? I was like, that sounds a bit weird. And I looked up, I looked like a baby.
He came into me and I went, oh my God.
We were going away 2 days later.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then he had to buy one of those eyebrow pens, you know, like the girls do.
And I didn't take it on holiday with me.
It's like Joey from Friends.
Every time someone surprised me, I went, wait a minute, and then I put it up higher, so I looked shocked.
I had a similar thing. I used to do, because I write little books now and again, and I used to do these horror comedy books years ago, and so I did a horror festival up in Sheffield, an amazing festival. Did that festival. Second day, I bought these new clippers for my beard. I trim my beard a little bit, and I cut a chunk off my moustache. So I had like a bald bit.
Negative of Hitler.
So so the opposite. But I ended up, because it was only like a piece, but I found it was enough to really show. So I was doing like a beard comb over. So I was kind of like, I had some hair gel. I put hair gel on it and tried to wax it over. I could see all day people were looking at me a bit funny. Like, and these are people dressed as clowns and zombies. And they're looking at me like I'm weird.
The thing is, talking about what you wear, you all the time we've known you've always gone with the sort of Artful Dodger type hat,
top
isn't
hat,
it? Would you say, yeah?
Well, I used to wear a suit, just normal suit like everyone else does. And then I found that with a clipboard, everyone thought I was taking drinks orders. That's got to be like an hour, isn't it?
I don't know, it might have gone past the half, innit?
Yeah, I think.
What did you say, a half hour or 35 or something?
35 minutes,
something.
We're going to have to just buy a timer. Why don't we just buy a timer and go, boom, there you go.
Then you don't have to go back and have a look at the time. To-do list.
Yeah.
Some pieces have fallen off.
Oh, mate, it's in absolute bits. I don't know how
Are you going to keep up with it? Keep the same
just
way?
keep it going, yeah. Just putting tape and plasters on it.
Just be an old piece of
By the end of the year, I don't know what we're going to do with it. Like bury it or blow it up.
This is the new sign. I don't want that falling off the wall. I ain't even turned that on. Not even turned it on.
What's that made of? That's really
Yeah, Bond Carpooch did that for us. Little plug for my mate.
There we go.
There we go. God, what a shambles this podcast is. We've not even turned the old light on.
brilliant.
Never mind.
So you do books and illustrations. Would you ever do that if you got bored of, doing weddings?
I'll be honest, I'd love that to be my job, really. I mean, I say that. I think originally I wanted to be a comic illustrator. And I kind of did caricatures as kind of a way to just make some money on the side. And it ended up being my living. And now I would love to do that for a job, but I'd miss doing this now. So I'd have to do both, I couldn't not.
Nothing wrong with that.
Do both, Even if I won the lottery, I'd carry on doing what I do, because just that reaction, that's what I live for. I love it. I like kind of the laughter.
So you say you do a lot online, and you do a lot of sort of teaching and courses for people as well?
Yeah, I do.
Would you do that as well?
I do tutorials on YouTube, just things kids like. And I love that, because sometimes people send pictures of their kids holding the pictures they've drawn.
Oh, brilliant.
Which is great. And I do workshops in schools with kids as well, which is great. And then last year, someone said, would you come and do a sixth form group? Which was terrifying, because I was used to 8 to 12-year-olds.
Did they give you a stick?
I turned up at this thing.
That's all right.
This thing, and it was a sixth form art student, and I walked into this room, and there was these astounding paintings everywhere. And I said, these are the tutors, and they went, no, these are the students you're teaching. I went, what? And I thought, I couldn't do this. And then I'm used to, I've got a patter, I think I do. I show examples of caricatures of the same famous people by different artists, and ones by myself. And normally, with the 8 to 12-year-olds, laughter ensues,
just dead.
Nothing. I was going, this one, and I was thinking, oh God. And then I had these charts of eyes and noses that are really kind of kiddie, really. Yeah. I'm handing these out to these amazing artists. But then within half an hour, I sort of realised that, they are really good painters, but they're not really good caricatures.
No, that's right. It's different. They're painting what they see, aren't they? That's the thing. They're painting what they see.
Is almost
and you're not. You're painting an exaggeration of what you see.
Yeah, and it was great, because they really got into it then, because it was something they weren't used to doing. And then there was one girl in the corner, I seem to remember, who was quite quiet, sort of goth girl. And she ended up being an amazing caricaturist, and she was like doing these kind of, I was going, wow, okay. And she'd go, I didn't know I could do this. And I thought, excellent, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it was nice. And then by the end they said, do you want a job? And I was like, so that's quite nice. It was quite good. So I think sometimes doing those things you're scared of are worth doing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And what was I going to say? Do you ever get a load of you caricatures together, not get drunk, but all do a caricature of one person and just see
the different side?
Yeah, because you're all going to be noticing something completely
that
different.
Caricon thing is all getting drunk, but we generally stick the pictures we've done on the wall wherever we've hired, normally a pub, and there will be several versions of the same person.
And several exaggerations. Yeah.
Very rarely the same. You rarely get two the same.
That's kind of,
and there's a common misconception with caricatures that
it's the same. Yeah.
Well, they'll say, "I got a caricature done 15 years ago in Spain. I need an updated one to go next to it." And I think, but it's not.
It's not going to be the same.
It's going to be a completely different thing entirely.
Yeah,
that's what this guy in Spain does.
Yeah, I think the only time I've done it is in Florida. I think.
Yeah, it's huge.
I was at a Disney park in Florida.
Yeah.
And I was wearing a orange Nike top with white stripe and two thin black stripes on either side of the white stripe.
Yeah.
I had black shorts on, and I had black and orange Nike trainers. Right. And this geezer went, "Look at you, all out of the same box." I took the right piss when I was drawing it.
Yeah, caricatures will do that.
They'll do that. That's the whole point of their job, to take the piss out of you.
Because you're taking the piss out of people's faces, you do find yourself being kind of rude. You say things you wouldn't say in public.
I think that's even better.
It's strange. You find yourself being able to say stuff you wouldn't be able to say.
The 15 years I've watched you, I thought, he's quite polite. I've always thought you were polite and just drawing. And, there you go, I've done that. I was like, he's quite a nice one, isn't he?
And now?
There's going to be no eyes.
So what did you want to do? Do you want to do us both together? Or
I'll draw, yeah.
Oh, God.
And a caricature.
So do you want... I meant that. So do you want Rach to swap seats with you and then you could draw from there?
Okay, sounds good.
Like that. Yeah.
You're going to get looking like the doctor in the Muppets now,
no one can hear. I'll tell you what, we're going to set up and then we'll come back.
The Beaker one. He's going to draw you like Beaker from the Muppets.
Mine, is it?
Not Beaker, the other one.
Oh.
The one with the round Oh, sorry. Talking off camera.
The round face one.
Yeah,
Like, yes.
Oh, the
Literally.
bird.
It's just got a pair of glasses and there's no
I'll
eye.
show you.
No, I know the one you're on about. Yeah.
He's literally like that, isn't it?
Oh, he's doctor.
You've
Just a
just drawn me.
scientist, doctor bloke. That's it. It's done.
That's it.
So I've got tiny ears.
You
As
don't
you've
give
done.
him points.
See, I love this. They always do it. They always do it. Every time.
I've got a big round bowling ball head, but it's got a flat bit on it, Rach, isn't it?
Do you know what, right? This whole thing, we had, like, when we started going out like 15 plus years ago, I said to him, you've got a flat bit at the back of your head. And he went, I don't want to talk about it. And I thought, oh God, something serious has happened.
Brilliant.
2 years later, and I've gone, oh, are you ever going to tell me? And he went, what do you mean? And he went, oh, I was just joking with that. 2 years it took.
Brilliant.
She went, can I ask again?
Yeah.
What actually happened? I'm like, what are you on about? She went, the back of your head. I said, I was winding you out, wasn't I?
What actually? Fuck, it's a real deformity.
Well.
Brilliant. That's what weird. I thought my wife was kind of getting annoyed with me last night because I'm so used to not being in focus. I'm the one behind this kind
Right, yeah.
Even when I do my YouTube channel, it's just my head quickly saying what's been done. That's it.
Right.
So when we was coming to this, I was saying to her, what do normal people wear to these sort of things?
I did think it was
top hat
going to be. I thought it was going to be top hatted up. That doesn't sound right.
It did kind of feel odd to not wear the top hat, but at the same time, when I looked at the other ones, I'm thinking everyone's just rested,
Yeah, but
but
that's what they probably wear normally, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, if we went on one, we would sort of semi-smart, wouldn't we? Like we would go to a wedding.
Yeah, this is better. Because my version of casual is basically me in a dressing gown and a pair of pants. You don't want that.
Do you ever... this is going to be a weird question. Like, if a lady, let's say, comes up... Well, it has to be a lady, and has quite big boobs.
Doesn't have to be a lady, Rach. Carry on.
That's where I start.
Well,
Yeah.
Do you sort of have to accentuate that?
Thanks for the job.
Do you accentuate that fact? Like if she's come up,
Of course he does. I would.
But
I put a couple of heels in front of the picture.
I had someone that because they didn't quite get that what I'd drawn was. They sometimes see that I'll draw the boobs and they'll think that's the body. They think I've done a big round body. Like, what's that? And I had a lady said that to me at the Alchem Barn. What's that? And I went, it's your boobs. I don't know how to say this. That's your boobs. Because it's like, I can't say.
So do you mainly stick to head and shoulders, or can you do all body?
He uses any shampoo.
You can't tell. Does it show? Yeah, mostly head and shoulders. Unless it's sometimes you've got a kid and they've got like a balloon so then I'll do them there holding the balloon to the whole body because it sort of looks better. But generally it's head and shoulders because you can take the mick a bit more there.
And we'll stick this on the wall after. All right, we'll put a frame on it and put it on the wall.
Oh, cool.
Get rid of Ricky
Don't speak too soon. You've not seen it yet.
Yeah, actually, I might be offended by it. I doubt that.
You offended?
The stick I've ever been through in my life.
You're probably saved slightly by the fact that I'm just doing this one. If it was a wedding and I'd done a few, I get worse and worse.
Yeah, that's true.
So like 5, 6 in, it starts to get a bit lean.
No, honestly, you destroy her. And I don't mean it in that way either.
It started on you. I'm just going to be
That's a whole different sort of show, that is.
I'm going to be this little thing in the corner. You're going to take up most
Massive
of it.
head and your little-
With no eyes. Or just a pair of eyes in the corner.
I had this lady, I was at the Ferry House Inn last year, and this lady was there, and she said to me, on a big table, she said to me, "Can you do me by my van?" And I said, "Do you want a caricature as well?" And I kind of laughed, and I went, and then she said, "I'll take you out to the van to show you the van because they're in the car park." So I went, okay, so I went out to the car park to do this, and I said to her, "Right, I'll finish drawing this. You go in, I'll be in a few minutes." So when I came back in, I pretended I was doing my flies up.
Yeah.
But then when I handed the picture, I didn't realise that I'd drawn me poking out from behind the van, saying, "You ready?"
That's brilliant.
He doesn't just do people, he does accessories as well.
Yeah, accessories, yeah.
Wicked.
Oh, did Jimmy fix it badges? Any request?
So has that got a light on it? It looks like it's got a light on
It has, yeah. If I get some of the gigs, you wouldn't believe. You get like gigs, they can get caricatures along and it's pitch black. I actually think.
I can't even see you.
The thing I do kind of need to work out, I always keep thinking I need to get a lamp that goes that side so that I can see them as well. Because sometimes you still want to see still.
That's very true.
Just trying to find one that's not too intrusive, that
Well, you get those little box ones, can't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those little LED box ones that we've got.
Like the
Those
one that
miniature lights that stack.
Yeah.
There's loads you can get these
Yeah.
days. He just hasn't tried that enough, has he?
No, I'm lazy. Well, so I'm very comfortable in my doing nothing. Okay, so I'll just get the eyes in.
Get the eyes in. Just through a line. He went, get the eyes in, whoosh. There you go. Is he going to get your monobrow in? Oh, you've disguised your monobrow. She grew up with a monobrow.
No.
Yes, she did. Your dad said in your speech when Rachel was in her one brow phase.
And that was when I was like Tilly's age.
In her one brow.
Brilliant.
One brow
And then he
phase.
got
That's
me
the beauty of being a parent, isn't it?
he got me a
there's no
t-shirt.
limit, is
He
there?
got me a t-shirt for my 30th, I think, and it had like a happy 30th Rach here, but on the back, when I put it on, it had a picture of me with one eyebrow. I was like,
Brilliant.
bastard. But we do take the piss out of our daughter, don't we? Because she's got really expressionate eyebrows. So
No, if
when
you ever did a caricature of her,
Yeah.
when she gets excited, her eyebrows leave her
Oh,
head.
Yeah,
Just
so
up
just do them off the
Yeah, yeah.
We always say to her, "God, put your eyebrows down." She's like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah. I would actually cut extensions on the page and just put a couple of eyebrows above it. Yeah, it's just funny.
But I think personally I would be too scared to draw people because I think I would offend people and then I would have to apologise.
You offend people when you try and draw them properly.
And I'm good at life drawing.
You are.
I
But you
love
didn't
good life.
ever sell anything like me, did you? When you taught me, and then I did
You showed it
Paul
to her,
Weller,
yeah.
and then a bloke
A
went,
studio
"That's
guy.
really good." No, I stuck it in the studio, didn't I? I said, "Can I put this on the wall in the studio?" He said, "Yeah, that'll help." Because I'm a musician, so it was at a recording studio, and he said, "I need a bit of a few pictures and that to brighten the place up." I said, "Well, I've got a Paul Weller painting I've done." He went, "Have you?" And so I showed him a picture of it. He went, "That's all right." So I put it up there. And then the bloke came in and bought it off me.
Wow.
Yeah. You ever had that,
Brilliant.
mate?
No.
So you're more surprised.
It's probably the only picture I've ever done.
And I taught you that. Thank
She
you
did
very
teach
much.
me.
That's
Did
it.
teach
So he
me.
owes you commission, yeah?
Yeah, he does. Still haven't got it.
So you always black and white, or you?
Yeah, for the live, I used to do colour, and then I just suddenly realised you can get a lot more done. It's a lot more punchy, like really more effective. And, you know, I used to. I haven't done it for a while. I put a few colours in my bag just because, like, people do colour hair.
Yes,
It's
yeah.
quite fun to put a punch.
Just put a little bit in on, yeah.
But you'd always guarantee whatever colour I didn't bring, someone would have that colour.
Yes,
in it.
of
So
course, yeah.
hair colours got so varied now.
What was the other thing I was going to say? How many pens you go through?
Oh, stupid, yeah. My car is like a skip of pens, so if I
Really?
run out, I know that I can run to my car and go through the floor and I'll find a few with a bit of ink left in it.
Really?
It does happen, yeah.
Are there certain types that you think, these are the best ones, I've got to use these?
These 3 pens, I'll never move away from it ever. And it's got all the other caricatures I know. They all vary. I'll try something, try this one, try that one. And I've got 3 pens with Pentel Touch Pen and Tombow pens, and that's all I've got to use. So lazy. So if I stop doing them, I'm screwed, you know. There was one years ago they started doing. I used to use these Faber-Castell pens, and I found I'd get them, and then the ink would last 3 seconds, and they were perfect for years. Suddenly they stopped doing it, and I had this sudden panic where I had to find a new product, and I was going around all the shops buying different pens. You know, I've got to find something that works. You know.
Can you point that mic at him a bit more for me?
Oh, sorry.
It's not you. It's not you. It's her. It's like a relationship.
It's not
Not
your
me,
turn.
it's you.
I find that my voice doesn't travel as well. So if
Oh, great. I'm going to have trouble.
Yeah, you would have that, yeah. At weddings, because it's noisy, I talk and people go, what? I'm trying.
Yeah, we talk about that. I am literally deaf if there's background noise. Aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are, yeah.
I cannot have a conversation if there's loads of noise in the background. In
No,
a
listen.
pub, it's an absolute nightmare for me.
And
Well, I get tinnitus now.
Right.
And I think that's from working in weddings so long. I find if it gets too loud, I get this song.
Yeah, especially if the DJ's going for it as
Well,
well.
it's awful.
But I've almost had to teach myself how to be loud because, like, the first few weddings I did, trying to organise like 100 people,
Oh yeah.
and you're like, please, can you stand here? But now I'm just.
Oh, they're like rabbit in a headlight now when you shout. They're talking. Can I have your? And they're all like, oh, blimey, she's got some lungs on her and a loud voice.
I'm terrified of photographers. Terrified of photographers. They're just kind of, you know, and videographers, because you kind of get that old, you think, well, go get out of the way. You know.
Get out of the way. But I still do that now. When he says to me, I need this shot, and I'm like, okay. I just sort of cower in the corner.
We do alright and we get on alright, really, most of the time. There's times when
Did you find that hard as a couple working together?
Not
We can
really.
literally read each other's minds. She can. We can be across a church, and I'm stuck where the vicar is, so I can't do hand signals or anything.
Right.
But she can just tell by the way I'm staring that I need the second camera check in, or you know what I mean. You know, don't you?
Yeah.
Or I think because we've worked together for so long now, it's almost like a habit, like just to check if you're at the other side of the room and you're filming something and I've walked past the camera, I will check that it's still running or something like that. So it's
and we shoot a first dance like Charlie's Angels, don't we? We're literally back to back, rotating around the couple.
And then we're going like this. We'll go. Let's get this phone out, and then let's get this phone out.
So we're very good at not getting. It doesn't matter if I get in her way. She's just taking photos.
That's it.
The thing is, it's true though. It's true though, isn't it? Yeah. It's true. I've got to film something, and if you get in my way while I'm filming, I've got to use it. If I get in your way while you're taking photos, you don't have to use it. You just don't use that photo.
That's right.
With my arse in the front.
It's working.
You've had an argument before you started work.
All the time.
And then
all the time.
It's lingered with you.
Sometimes. We've gone to weddings before where we've not spoken to each other.
We had a row just before this.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was.
On the way in, didn't we? Got some travel insurance. Oh yeah.
Who got this bastard?
Yeah. Why did you book him? Who asked this? Is he wearing that hat?
I bet he's not going to wear it and ruin the whole thing.
But yeah,
but something goes wrong with the camera.
We've had arguments before, and we're sort of. The classic is down in Whitstable where there was the bride and groom, lovely sunset. He steps in,
hand
films
in hand, walking towards the sun on the Whitstable front.
Yeah.
She fucking steps in, click.
I needed the shot.
Go behind me and take it.
Yeah, what you do is you take those panels into Photoshop.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, yeah. Move a big chin out of it. There we go, here we go.
Oh, God.
Yeah, don't kick me out the door. There you go.
You have no
This is Look at your chin. And you're picking that, that's perfect.
I thought about going from no eyes at all, but
That is wicked. Look at the eyes.
Half an eyebrow.
Half an eyebrow, yeah. Love that.
Oh, I love
That's
that.
so cool. Let's hold it up to the camera. There we go. That is brilliant.
Always
So we'll put that on the on the wall. We'll get another frame.
like I say, if I drew that 2-3 hours into a wedding, there'd be a lot more.
But it's the quality. It's the quality. It's like it's digital. Honestly, it's that good quality.
Well, that's kind of. I've got on the back of here. This is the traditional way, not an iPad, because I get so often.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Is that an iPad? Or they say, can you print off 3 of them? And I'm like, I can't print off anything.
Yeah.
And I had a lady.
So cool.
I was at a wedding at the Plough in down in
Lee, is it?
Lee,
Yeah.
or Lie, whatever they call
Yeah.
it. And there's a lady there, and she was quite drunk, and she said to me, I've got this idea that's going to revolutionise your business. It will change it entirely. You've got to do this thing. And I went, what's that? And she thought she's drunk, probably not very good, which I was quite right. She said to me, get a printer that you attach to your clipboard that scans the picture, and then you can print off as many copies as you want. I went, well, that's a great idea, but it's like saying, you know, you invent time travel. Time travel doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You can't do it. It existed, yeah, great. That revolutionised my business, but it doesn't exist. So yeah, it's a great idea, but
Yeah, because you would then need an assistant to then sit there and do all that for you. And
Yeah. Have you considered doing it on like an iPad and then you just email it to them?
yeah, I've just started doing the iPad, and yeah, you can do that. The only problem is, I had another caricaturist I know. She said that she did a wedding up in London somewhere, and people started thinking it was AI. And it's like, oh god, yeah, that's the side of it now. That the downside of that is
the technology side of it.
you can't believe it, you know.
And what's the feel like from real pens to?
Yeah, well, I've got it's not bad. There's a paper-like screen you can get on the iPad Pro, and it gives it a slight papery texture, and I found that helped a little bit. It's a bit, it's okay, but I'm not sure how. I think it would take me longer because I'd have to do colour. I couldn't not do colour if I was doing that.
Right, of course, yeah, that's so good.
Have you ever done one of yourself? Like a self-portrait?
Yeah.
Well, in the book I write, I'm on every page because it's all about my life. So anything funny that happens to me, but I'm quite nice to myself.
You haven't really spoke about your life. Did you want to go into your life? Anything dodgy that we can talk about that gets me more?
No.
You had quite. You had quite an easygoing life upbringing.
Yeah, not bad actually. It's been quite nice, really.
Bring that mic down for me.
Nice. like that.
So just pivot it on the elbow there. Look, see in the middle. He's tipped. He's tipped. He's tipped.
It's got to go.
Can you go and do it, mate? You're just watching him struggle.
I was just watching to see what happened.
Pivot there.
There. Oh, what? Yes, to do what though?
Just pivot it down a bit.
Do you leave these bits in?
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh, that's good.
That's better.
better?
There we go. Right. I want mine, but she's done 80 episodes as well.
I was just watching to see where this was going to go. If it was going to fall over.
Well, of course it was.
Yeah, because I was touching it.
Right, so we now attach these to tables because it used to be attached to this, and she used to plonk her drink down, bang, bang, all the time, right? So I said, I'm putting another table there, so it'll be a lot easier for you. The sound won't be as bad.
Yeah.
Fuck me. The drinks went down on the table, on the little table. Bang! I said, you're having a laugh. Did I ever go to you on the podcast for that? Yeah, well, you deserved it. Right, sorry.
Love.
So you had a good upbringing and...
Yeah, my parents have always been really supportive of, kind of like, brilliant. I have a great family, really. No, so because they're quite an arty family as well.
Yeah.
Weirdly, I've got a really arty family. I've got one brother who's kind of the not arty one, and he plays rugby. He lives in France now.
So you just got the one brother, or...?
I've got two older brothers.
Right, okay.
13 years older than me. One's really good at painting, really good at drawing, does amazing caricatures.
Yeah.
But he won't do it for a job, and he works in a dockyard. He's manager in a dockyard.
Oh, right, okay.
The other brother, he wasn't really into creative stuff at all. Plays rugby and works on buildings, but now he goes down in France doing up old houses in France. And that's kind of what he does. He's an artist. It's beautiful. But there's a YouTube channel where they're fixing up an old chateau, and he's there doing all these things, amazing things with this chateau. Yeah,
excellent.
So there's creative stuff.
But
and we've met your wife, but obviously in the same way we met you. Hello. What does she do? Does she draw?
No, she's a chef. Well, she was a chef. She's
okay.
She's having a daughter. She's not really worked, but she's
okay.
She's going to get a job soon, I think.
Were you making her?
Yeah, maybe go get her to work. Well, we've got to get a mortgage next year, so we've got to pay the mortgage.
How did you meet her? Did you do a caricature of her? Was that how you met her?
Friends of friends, so we didn't draw.
Right.
I'm not really allowed to draw much. I draw. I generally get told off for how I draw, but no, she's in every page of my book. But we just met through friends of friends, so we're quite young. We were only been together long. We were 16 years before we got married.
And where's she from? She's Asian.
She's Chinese, but she was always brought up. She was known as the Cockney Chinese.
Oh, really? She got a Cockney accent because I've never spoken.
It's not really Cockney, but it's sort
but
of
she sounds like
accent.
She sounds like us.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But she's working a Chinese takeaway, but quite cliche. I found a Chinese takeaway.
And she go, hello.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, come and get your food. And people turn up like, right, Chinese. They're quite surprised by it, yeah.
So, right, because she helps out on wedding fairs, doesn't she?
Yeah,
that's when we see her at wedding fairs.
Yeah, I need her really, because especially like you do Declan one. I don't.
It's like buses, mate, isn't it?
It's insane. Yeah, you can't keep up with it.
And we're no longer filming it, and that's far better for us now.
Right. Oh, you just filmed it, did you, before?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Never noticed.
I never noticed.
15 years.
I knew someone had a camera.
15 years I've been filming it.
That's it.
And that's how I say hello to you, and I'm behind you filming the caricature.
I've seen you at weddings. I just made the connection.
You were trying to take
I'm behind
his
you
job.
filming their reaction. I've hardly seen you at weddings.
No, I'm sure I've seen you at a few events.
Oh, but it's more wedding fairs.
Right.
So thanks for noticing all these years.
No, that's all right. I don't know.
Yeah, we used to do it for Tina Green. We used to do it for Tina Green for a long time.
She's great.
She's lovely. Yeah. Hopefully she's enjoying her retirement. Imagine she's retired, is she?
I would have thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was so laid back with everything.
She was lovely.
Yeah.
She was lovely.
She was great. Yeah, I find that I get that as well though. Like, I'll know people for years. This is the worst job for facial blindness. So I look at faces all day, and the people I know will come up to me and I'll go, all right, no connection at all. You know?
We're exactly the same with couples.
We are not. You are.
Yeah, you're a bit better. You're a bit better. But you get those old films, those old Victorian type films where the assistant leans in and goes, "Oh, that's the mayor of Earth." That's what she does to me.
Like Anne Hathaway in The Devil Wears
She literally
Prada.
goes, "We're doing their wedding next year." They booked us a year ago. I'm like, how's it all going? Because it's so hard. So hard. And when you see people out of context, that messes me up.
Yeah,
it messes me
definitely.
up.
And they all think I was at a soft play. I took them to a soft play, and this couple of guys me. Hello mate, how you doing? I'm thinking, fun at the face. And then slowly I went, I picture them. I could see like Ken Life appear behind them. Remember I saw that face, like a picture in there.
So you take a photo of everyone you do?
Yeah.
Have you done? Well, you have to do it after. I suppose.
Yeah, I generally do. I always do a photo album for the bride and groom because the reason being I started doing this, and I do it as a free service. I just do it and I do a Facebook album, and it's because I used to get these brides and grooms that say to me, "Can you keep hold of all the pictures?" And I think, I'll say, okay, I'll keep hold of them. But then you find all night, all you're getting is, "Can I have a look at my picture again, mate?"
Yeah. Which one are you?
Yeah.
I've got like 80 pictures here. Which one are you?
Yeah. So, and then they all try and claim that one of them's theirs and it's not theirs. And I think, no, it's easy if I just take a picture and then give them out. And, you know.
How about twins and triplets? You've been dealt with that before?
Yeah, that's a bit weird because it can get a bit boring if you're honest because
it's the same person 3 times.
You're drawing them once, you think, draw them again. It's just kind of,
and what you like with like animals and pets?
I quite enjoy drawing animals. They're quite fun. I one of my little claims to fame is that on Twitter, well, I've just left Twitter, but on Twitter I used to do cartoons of Ricky Gervais's cat.
Oh, yes. Right.
And because he followed me on Twitter when I used to do caricatures of his shows. He gave me a follow, and then I started doing cartoons because he loved his cat. I did cartoons of his cat taking the mick out of him. And then I got chatting to him in the message thing, and he said, "Why don't you do the cat's Twitter account that's run by his wife?" So I started doing cartoons of the cat on the top of tweets she'd done.
You ever met him or just had a chat with him? Or
I was on the set of. I'd spoke to him online quite a lot, and then I was on the set of The Muppets Most Wanted.
Oh right, yeah.
I only a caricaturist on there, and I was on there doing. I was an extra. Like I was an extra being a caricaturist.
So you're in it?
Yeah. Well. I met another caricaturist there, John Paul from Brighton, and he's a real lovely guy. And he kind of, they said, "We need someone to draw the Muppet." And he went, "I'll do it." And I went, but they were looking at me, and I'll do it. And he jumped in. I was like, "Bastard!" And he got on there, and this guy got there drawing Ricky Gervais, and I was kind of in the middle drawing this kind of girl in his outfit. And so when they filmed it, they filmed Ricky Gervais chatting to this guy, and the camera goes like that. And I was all dressed in this stupid outfit, and I'm thinking, I'm in a blur. Literally, oh man. But yeah, the weird thing was you're not allowed to talk to the actors, so I kind of spoke to them online, but wasn't allowed to talk to them in person.
How weird.
It was weird, yeah. Really strange.
I love his stuff. Do you like his comedies?
Yeah,
extras.
I love it. Yeah.
I love Derek as well.
Derek's my favourite.
Some people slag it off because they think he's taking the piss out of someone that's meant to be.
Yeah.
But it's the loveliest, honestly, comedy. Honestly, if anything, he's praising him up more than anything.
Yeah, I did an event for a special needs group. And I was drawing a few of them, and one of the guys, when Derek first came out at the time, and I mentioned something to do Ricky Gervais, and he said, "I don't like Ricky Gervais." I said, "And he went, "No, he takes the mick out of us and makes us look." And I said, "Who told you that?" I said, "Is that your own, what you think yourself, or have you watched it?" And he said, "No, my carer told me that."
It's not true. It's not true.
Because it's kind of, No,
it's not true. And it's been missed by quite a few people.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Well, the first
I don't think you've even watched it.
I have watched it. But I'm not a massive fan of him. I think, not that what he says, it's just his voice is a little bit drony for me. It's a little bit...
It's one voice.
Yeah.
Bloke, isn't he? But,
so that's something. I can quite happily watch and sit down with you and
Afterlife,
watch it,
I wasn't impressed in season 3 of Afterlife. He should have stopped on the second. The first 2 I thought were beautiful. The bit where he got high and then he laid back on his wife's lap. She'd passed away. Yeah. So he got high and laid back, and she was sort of there. I thought that was just beautifully done. Once again, I'm looking at it from a filming point of view.
He's always very good at making you awkward. He captures that amazingly. Brilliant. He is the best at that because, like in The Office, and you used to go, "Oh God," and you'd want to cringe and squirm, and he's so good at that. So I'd take my hat off.
But yeah, The Office, that's shot so well as well.
Yeah,
like where I can't remember who's the guy that was in Pirates of the Caribbean.
What's his name?
Gareth.
I love it.
Gareth. His name is Gareth in it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What is his name?
Oh God.
He was getting chatted up in a club by a couple, wasn't he? And then you just see him. It's perfectly filmed.
Yeah, it's perfect.
You just see a motorbike and sidecar, and he's sitting there. So they're like the wife and husband are on the bike, and he's sitting there with his little helmet on, and it's not even meant to be focusing on him. It's focusing on someone else, and it's filmed so.
The focus changes for a second.
And he just goes like. I love that so much.
Mackenzie Crook.
That's
it. Yeah.
Yes. So how do you going back a few bits in the conversation? If someone was in a wheelchair or disabled, how far would you go with that?
Yeah, you have to be careful. Yeah. I think. Well, it depends. Really. I don't. I'm not too mean to people.
Yeah.
You
get chatted to them. as well.
Yeah, because you don't know what their mental state is, so you don't know if they might be quite emotional. If you give it to them, they're like a child, like, they're not going to be upset.
Square in the face. Yeah, that's it.
But a lot of people with wheelchairs as well, they like a wheelchair, innit? And they, like people with hearing aids tend to like to have the hearing aid in there, things like that, because they
it turns into their identity, doesn't it?
Yeah, it becomes part of who they are.
So have you had to adapt sometimes, like your style,
a little bit.
do that?
I think on the early days you probably left things out like that, didn't you? And then you noticed that they were saying, "Oh, you haven't put my hearing aid in."
Well, even if I look back at ones I was 10 years ago, I was way too kind.
Right.
Yeah. If I look, not long
so in
ago.
10 years' time, you're going to be horrendous.
Oh, but horrible, yeah. I mean, I'll be more bitter and old as well then, but I'll be like, you young people. I'm already there, if I'm honest.
I like the way we're still sitting in the being blind position. Doesn't stay like it.
But have you had to sort of adapt your drawings to follow trends and stuff like that as well? Or?
Do you know, I'm interested in, there is now the trend for people are expecting, because they're on TikTok a lot, and TikTok, caricatures on TikTok are incredibly mean. Not mean they might, but way mean. There's a guy I follow that does, if someone's got a gap, a couple, and they've got a gap in their tooth, he'll do the other person hanging out of it. And they're amazing. They're astounding characters. I'd love to do them. I think one day maybe I'll start doing something closer to that, but I'm not sure I'll ever get to that level, because these guys are mind-blowing.
What do you like with hands and feet? Because I imagine you don't draw them that often, do you?
That's where the comic book helps me, actually, because every day I do
a bit more practice on hands and feet.
Hands and feet on that. I've got one for you, actually, by the way. Remind me before I go.
Okay.
So that is that your main goal? You want to get that published? Would you love to get that published?
I self-publish them once a year anyway, so I sell them on Amazon.
Oh, right, okay.
And I just kind of sell them. If I'm at a festival, I'll do the odd festival now and again. Like I do a fantasy festival. But
you can talk about them on here if you want. Bring them out and show us.
I'll show you one. But they, I'll do the caricatures on the side. I have the books up there selling in the background. So that's kind of what my wife does. She'll sell the books while I'm sitting there. Where's one? Oh, that's one of them. Oh, that's my last year's one.
Oh, wow!
The reason I do.
So have you got a publisher that does them all for you?
I self-publish them on Amazon. So Amazon I've got a publishing service. So.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, they do like KDP. It's brilliant. So.
Oh, right. I have to find out about that.
But it's great. But I've now put like little adult poems in there and stuff as well. So I start writing poems about life, and it's quite fun. But one of the main reasons, because I just started doing it during lockdown, and I thought, because my daughter won't remember it because she was only 2 at the time. So I thought, I've got these books now. If anything ever happens to me, she's got these memories of everything we did, you know. So it's kind of just in my wife and daughter.
Is that your wife?
There's my wife, yeah. Why'd you put my face so round? I get that quite a lot. I thought, well.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's quite fun. But because I do like probably a page every 3-4 days, and every 3-4 days after that I'll do a poem. So every 4th page is a poem. So I have to find some poem to write about what I'm writing about. You know.
That's so cool.
Oh, this is wicked.
If I've got the iPad.
And it.
Right, so
iPad now. I've changed. Trying to get it out.
Alcohol. What's it called? Read it all out so people know where
that one's. Alcohol and Painkillers.
Alcohol and Painkillers, and you can find that on Amazon. Yeah.
On Amazon. Yeah. Next year it's changing to because Alcohol and Painkillers. That was my diet during lockdown. Painkillers.
Right, okay.
So I'm changing it next year because people that have problems with alcohol won't buy the book and things like that.
Of course, yeah.
So I'm changing it next year to Artful Doodler Journals, and the title of next year's book is going to be The Dead Horse, because I always joke in the book that trying to sell the book is like trying to sell a dead horse.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's Forest Grump.
Forest Grump, yeah. Alcohol Painkillers, Forest Grump. So now I've made them digital now, so they're kind of...
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
It's changed a little bit, but yeah.
And you did
so
that
you're drawing them digitally?
Yeah.
Yeah, drawing everything, the whole lot's digital. The paper, it saves me. I used to have an office full of paper and doodles.
That's the other thing,
It's great, yeah.
That's cool.
One of the other characters I know, he does it more on the iPad, and he said to me, one of the best things you notice is you're walking around with inky hands all the time.
Yeah.
Because if you see me at the end of a wedding, I mean, even now I've got...
You must have.
There's always...
Losing the stylus is the worst thing could happen, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, imagine that, yeah.
Yeah.
If the battery goes, that's it, you're done, you know.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And how, on an iPad, you can't really say, there's no memory, is there, to iPads? You can't save it, and... Because imagine if you've got 80 pictures of this, where are you going to save them?
See, I'm wondering if I've noticed that, because I've got the iPad, and I've got a whole year's worth of journal entries on there so far, and it's not told me that my memory's been used up at all, you know.
Right.
And also things like other characters have told me, oh, your pen nib will run out really quick with that Paperlight screen. And I've still used the same pen for a year,
right,
so
okay.
I've done nothing. So whether or not, when they're doing weddings, they're doing it a lot quicker and they're wearing it out.
Everyone
faster.
draws differently though. Maybe you're a lighter drawer, you know. Some people push a bit hard, don't they?
Yeah.
I like that, Rachel.
A lighter drawer. I love it. I think this is a really
It's
good
amazing.
idea.
It's
That's
really
so
cool.
Yeah, it's quite fun. That's just yours, by the way.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh my god, I love that. Thank you
That's
so
all right.
much.
We're getting to sign it.
Oh, I'm so going to read this all now. I tell you, my
Daughter would love it.
daughter would love this as well.
It's quite adult. It depends how old she is. There's a lot of swearing in there.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
She's getting it. She's getting it.
I've had to change the covers for the new ones I'm doing to make them look more adult because I went to a festival, like a business festival in Canterbury
Right.
a couple of months back, and they're all drinking there, and all these guys are coming up going, look, he's selling kids' books. I'm like, no, not kids'
No,
books.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go selling them to your kids.
Because that is the thing, because it's
Did you
very
like Viz?
cartoony.
Was you inspired by Viz and things like that? Did you
Yeah, a lot
remember
of stuff
Viz?
I used to do was I used to write these books about this character called Dr. Ripper, and they were horror books, and they were based on each story was based on friends of mine. I did my friends as freaks.
Right, yeah.
I picked all the characteristics about and made them into freaks, and they were really adult, like severely adult, and people used to compare that to Viz quite a lot. You know, that was yeah.
No, don't you know what Viz is?
Oh my god! Now, oh dear.
It's a comic book.
Because you're a
for
similar age
adults.
to me, aren't you? So you.
I'm 50 now.
Oh right, I'm 49. Yeah. So.
Oh, I am. Looks younger than that, doesn't he?
No,
That's
right.
right. You look younger than Simon.
That's annoyed me. I thought I was a good looking
And a
50.
few wrinkles on there.
Yeah, she's 30.
You've got better hair than me, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's are you bald?
No, I'm not bald. I've not much left.
Oh, right, okay.
It's, yeah. But, coming up again. I started cutting my hair during lockdown because I realised it wasn't worth going to a hairdresser for.
I had to cut his. But I said, go in the garden, didn't I? I cut yours a few times.
Did you cut mine?
Yeah.
No, I've
And
not
then
stopped.
after that, I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I can't do this.
Oh, right. No.
Because you were like, right, do this at the back. And I was like, I can't. It's stressing me out too much.
I don't even remember.
So I used to hate going to the barber because they look at me, you could tell with me, I look in their eyes, like, what can I do with that? So now I just do it myself. It's a lot easier.
I'm brilliant.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, thank you so
Right.
much.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
No, it's been
Tell
great.
everyone how
Really
they can
enjoyed it.
find you,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
all your Instagrams and all that malarkey.
Yeah, so my website's www.theartfuldoodler.co.uk, and you can see all the links on there from different things. And
Okay.
I used to be on Twitter a lot, but I'm not so much anymore. So
Is there a reason why you jumped off?
since Elon's taken over, it's gone a bit.
It's gone a bit far. You can say what you want. Yeah.
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 Well, I posted a thing. Was it? I left there 2 months ago. I posted a thing about when Donald Trump got shot.
Yeah.
And someone posted about it, I think a video about him being an opportunist. Because straight away he was. And I just reposted it on my page, and I got so much abuse from people saying you shouldn't be, saying bad things about him. He was shot, and I said, I just posted the video. What this guy said, I think he's got a point. But he did kind of, and
I don't think that's even slagging him off to say he's an opportunist.
No.
The bloke's running for president.
Exactly.
You're going to take that.
Yeah.
He's brave to get up. He's just been shot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, I'm not got a political stand in either of them. It's not my country. Ours is just messed up. I worry about ours.
Yeah,
but he took the opportunity to shout, fight, fight, fight. You know what I mean?
But they all started having, but it was kind of, they were saying that, that the opportunism was a bit much. So it was very quick. He was going out the way, and he was trying to get on camera. And which is a bit cringy, isn't it? Because I put it on there, I got so much abuse, and I thought, I didn't even say anything, and I just went, do you know what? And I just put a little post saying, all right, guys, I'm taking a break because I can see this place has changed. It's something a little bit,
we just stay away from politics, don't we?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Which is why we had MP Kelly Tolhurst on and Vince Maple on. So we've had politicians on.
Yeah, one of each.
And they're both lovely people. So
it's just a job at the end of the day, isn't it?
all we want to talk about is their career, how they got there.
Like Kelly told us, she just said, did you have any training, or did they get take
once
you
you became MP, you went to the House of the Parliament, got trained. No, they gave me a laptop and an office.
And said, good luck. And that was it.
Amazing.
So people running this country don't get any training whatsoever.
No problem.
And it doesn't show, does it? Anyway, thanks so much for coming. Nice to finally have a good chat with you.
You too.
Honestly, So I really enjoyed that.
I love this book. I'm so going to read this book.
Wait till you read it, might change mine actually.
No, that's really good. Anyway, nice to end it with some police sirens in the world.
That's come for me.
There we go then. So thanks for watching and see you next time.
Love it.